Hello, story lovers, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into a classic tale that has enchanted and warned readers for generations. The story of Rumpelstiltskin, collected by the Brothers Grimm. This German fairy tale is a masterful blend of secrets, greed, and the surprising power of cleverness. It is a story that asks a chilling question. What price would you pay to save your own life? So, grab a comfy seat and let's unravel the threads of this unforgettable narrative. At the heart of our story are three key figures. First, we have the miller's daughter, a kind-hearted girl thrust into an impossible situation. She begins as a victim of her father's foolish boasting, but evolves into a courageous and cunning queen. Then, there's the king, a man completely consumed by his love for wealth. He sees the miller's daughter not as a person, but as a potential source of endless gold. And finally, we meet the titular character, Rumpelstiltskin. He's a strange, magical little man who appears when all hope seems lost, offering miraculous help, but always for a steep price. He is the embodiment of a deal that's too good to be true. The story kicks off with a lie. A poor miller, trying to make himself seem important, boasts to the king that his daughter can spin straw into gold. Intrigued and greedy, the king immediately summons the girl. He locks her in a room filled with straw and a spinning wheel, threatening her with death if she fails to turn it all into gold by morning. The poor girl is terrified and heartbroken. She has no such magical ability. As she weeps in despair, the door creaks open, and a peculiar little man steps inside. This is Rumpelstiltskin. He offers to spin the straw into gold for her, but asks for her necklace as payment. Desperate, she agrees. The next night, the king, delighted with the gold, puts her in an even larger room, filled with more straw. Again, Rumpelstiltskin appears. This time, he takes her ring in exchange for his services. On the third and final night, the king places her in the largest room yet, promising to marry her and make her queen if she succeeds, but vowing to end her life if she fails. The girl has nothing left to give Rumpelstiltskin when he appears. Seeing his opportunity, the little man proposes a chilling bargain. He will spin the straw into gold one last time, but in return, she must promise him her firstborn child. Trapped, and with no other choice, the miller's daughter agrees. The king keeps his word, and she becomes the queen. A year later, she gives birth to a beautiful baby. She had almost forgotten her dreadful promise. But one day, Rumpelstiltskin appears in her chamber to claim his prize. Horrified, the queen begs him to let her keep her child. She offers him all the riches of the kingdom, but he refuses, saying a living being is worth more to him than all the treasures in the world. Her grief is so profound that the little man feels a flicker of pity. He offers her one last chance, a riddle of sorts. "I will give you 3 days," he says. "If by the end of those 3 days you can guess my name, then you shall keep your child." The queen is filled with a new sense of purpose. She sends messengers far and wide to collect every name they can find. She presents Rumpelstiltskin with long lists of common and unusual names, but to each one, he gleefully replies, "That is not my name." Just when it seems all hope is lost, on the final day, a messenger returns with a strange story. He hadn't found any new names, but deep in the woods, he had stumbled upon a remote cottage. There, he saw a ridiculous little man dancing wildly around a fire, singing a strange song. The song went, "Today I brew, tomorrow I bake, then I'll have the young queen's child. Oh, how glad I am that nobody knows my name is Rumpelstiltskin." The messenger rushes back and tells the queen what he saw and heard. She can hardly believe her luck. Later that day, when the little man arrives to claim the child, the queen feigns ignorance. "Is your name Conrad?" she asks. No. Is it perhaps Harry? No. Then with a confident smile she says, Then is your name by chance Rumpelstiltskin? The little man is stunned, then enraged. The devil told you that! The devil told you that! He shrieks. In his fury, he stamps his foot so hard that it goes right through the floorboards. When he tries to pull it out, he tears himself in two. And that is the end of him. The queen, through her wit and determination, saves her child and lives happily ever after. So, what can we learn from this dark and fascinating tale? The most obvious moral is about the danger of making promises you can't keep. The miller's daughter's desperate promise nearly cost her everything. It's also a powerful warning against greed and dishonesty. The miller's lie and the king's greed are the catalysts for the entire conflict, proving that such vices always lead to dire consequences. But beyond that, the story champions the power of knowledge and cleverness. The queen doesn't defeat Rumpelstiltskin with force, but with information. She solves the problem by thinking, investigating, and using the knowledge she gains. Her true strength isn't royalty or riches, but her courage and wisdom. The symbolism in Rumpelstiltskin is incredibly rich. The act of spinning straw into gold represents the seemingly impossible challenges we face in life, turning something worthless into something of immense value. Rumpelstiltskin himself is a symbol of temptation and hidden dangers. He offers an easy way out of a difficult situation, but the cost is always higher than it first appears. He represents those shortcuts in life that often lead to bigger problems. And most importantly, the name itself symbolizes the power of truth and knowledge. In many ancient cultures, knowing someone's true name was believed to give you power over them. By discovering his name, the queen strips Rumpelstiltskin of his power and exposes him for what he is. The influence of Rumpelstiltskin has been vast. It has been adapted into countless books, plays, animated films, and television shows, each putting a unique spin on the original tale. The story's central theme is so universal that the phrase, "Guess my name," has become a cultural shorthand for solving a difficult puzzle or uncovering a crucial secret. It reminds us that gaining power over a problem often starts with simply understanding it, with naming it. The story's ability to teach complex lessons in a memorable way is why it continues to be told to children and adults all over the world. In conclusion, Rumpelstiltskin is so much more than a simple fairy tale about a funny little man. It's a timeless lesson that true victory is won, not through magic or might, but through intelligence, perseverance, and honesty. It teaches us that while desperation can lead us to make terrible bargains, courage and cleverness can help us find our way out of them. The Queen's journey from a terrified girl to a wise ruler shows that our greatest strength often emerges when we are tested the most. It's a story that encourages us to face our fears, seek knowledge, and understand that naming our demons is the first step to conquering them. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the world of fairy tales. What's your favorite lesson from Rumpelstiltskin? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next story. Until next time, keep reading and stay curious.